hidden horsepower from PRI 2022, Lake Speed Joe Castello, and the voice of the National Hot Rod Association, Alan Reinhart, wanders into the booth, and Lake, you just hooked him and reeled him in.
Wait, so I can't not let this opportunity pass by to grab my favorite two announcer guys and just say, hey, we're at PRI, we're hanging out, things are good.
That'll teach me to walk by slowly, won't it?
That's it. That's it. He's out early, he's walking slowly.
Just know that if you see us, you gotta walk away.
Right. I should have known that,
Yeah,
especially as much time as I spend podcasting with him. No, all good, all good. You guys having a good show?
Well, yeah. So of course, we sit here in the booth. We never get to go anywhere. So tell us what you've seen around, because you're walking around. I don't get to see anything.
I think I've seen it all. I'm got it all wrapped up. I usually try to do my first couple of days with the main floor, and then I save Machinery Row for Saturday, and then I'm flying out this afternoon. But all good. I think a couple of things. One, the quality of vendors is spectacular, as it always is. But from a crowd standpoint, I think the membership plan has made it so the people that are here really are here, want to be here. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's not quite so many that are just coming because it's cool and they get to look at the cars and do this stuff.
Right.
People are here to do business. A much higher percentage of them, I think, than have been in the past.
No, I would agree with that. I would agree with that. And someone made an observation yesterday, and I remember what it was like to want to go and be a part of it, but like the crowds of people, there would be like a pack of like 8 or 10 people, maybe the business owner and several of their employees are all, the packs are down, and it's more individuals and a couple of people here and there.
That's a great point. Yeah, you're right.
You know, as we go through the aisles.
There's no entourages.
There's no entourages, which is, is it good? Is it bad? Whatever is better for business. And everybody I've spoken with says that business is good.
Well, and the whole thing about going to the membership aspect is really about saving our industry. And that's one of the key things that I've taken from this, is that some people have questions about, well, why is there a membership thing? Well, it's really about saving our industry, because we can't lobby as an industry with Congress if we don't have a membership-based organization. To have a PAC, a political action committee, it has to be membership-based, and it can't be free. It can't be a penny for life. There has to be some tangible value. That's where the $40 came from, right? Is that this meets the federal election criteria. So now, as a membership organization, we can go campaign and lobby to try to save our race cars. And that's what's kind of cool to see. A little pro stock action setting up here in the main aisle, right?
Looks like Matt's car's back out in front by a couple inches, right?
Exactly, yeah.
I'm surprised. I really figured they'd be about 30 more feet down the aisle by now. I figured every day it'd be like this, a little more.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
But no, I agree with what you said. I think that the membership aspect and the fact that you have to pay to be here versus in years past when you technically had to be in the industry,
right.
But it wasn't like there was Gestapo out there. Pretty much anybody could come through. But I just think in years past, the number of people I've seen walking around with a bag going koozie, pen, is way down now, because the people that are here to do business.
Yep, that's awesome. And speaking of that, I can't thank the guys at NHRA enough for helping put this together. The guys at Melling are great. I used to work there, so it was just kind of an idea that was born last year, because they had Erica's car sitting over there. And they're like, where's Matt's car? And we're like, we can get 10 more feet and put in Harper's car and have a little drag race action and raise some money for the PAC and help raise awareness. It's great.
I like it. What's new with Total Seal? I haven't come by to see you. I mean, I was at your place a month ago, but I know you guys have always got something up your sleeve.
Yeah, we do, right? So that little iPad or tablet sitting over there, we've taken the profilometer to a whole new level. We had Mark Marburg sitting in the seat the other day, and he's from digital metrology, so we can now have a 3D picture of your surface finish. So we have a microscope over there that hooks to the laptop, so you can run the profilometer and see that whole trace. Forget the numbers anymore. You can see the trace, and then you can use that microscope and then see your crosshatch, and it will tell you exactly what your crosshatch angle is. So you can get this complete picture of the cylinder bore. Then you can do some oil analysis in there, and you can actually know exactly what's happening in your engine.
So the days of running the hone back and forth and kind of going, yeah, that'll be good.
Yeah, it's over with. Yeah, that's long gone. And the crazy thing is, this week, we had a customer tell us that from, we'll call it the bad surface finish to the good surface finish, all the same parts, same block, same head, same engine, 70 horsepower difference.
70
on an 800 horsepower engine. Like when they messed it up, the bad one cost them 50. The good one gained them 20. But from the bad to the good was 70.
That's pretty impressive stuff. I mean, obviously, you know, and you and I have talked about it, but the cylinder seal is key, but the friction aspect of it is big as well. I mean, if you're giving up the friction, being able to use such a smaller ring, if you don't need as much horsepower to spin the motor, then that's more that you get to take off the flywheel.
Oh, exactly. So, I mean, I think we're going to do that for both of you guys, right? Yeah, both of y'all have engines.
Yes.
Yes.
And then between now and next year, we need to get both of y'all's engines done up and do it right surface finish, right rings and all that, and let's see how much we can pick it up. Because if these guys saying they can swing at 70, well, maybe we get 20 out of y'all's, but you know we got to pick them up.
And so this guy just hooked himself on with a brand new project, which you may or may not know about. This Barracuda.
Tell me.
And it is exactly. And I'm not working for Reinhart right here, but it's right up there. It's a barn, kind of a barn find, right? A car that sat for 20 years, never been run. The other day he puts out a nice little social media video, like he brought it back to life, and it's running. But just like your dad's engine, it has been sitting for a long time. It runs, and but it's probably not right. So it is right. It is right for what you're trying to prove.
Yeah.
I'd rather do the Mustang because I'm not 100% sure what engine is going to be in the Cuda by the time it's all said and done. Probably not the Mustang as the now, but the Mustang being my baby, if we could bump that thing up, 700 horsepower.
Wait. So yours is a Mustang.
Pontiac.
Yours is a Firebird, right?
Yep.
Well, I see a drag race in our future.
Oh, there is. Right now, I would lose. You got to help me late. You got to help me late. Mine's more of a super street car, but we got to help me. Now, you were at the Total Seal Factory earlier this year. Did some great videos that got a lot of traction.
Oh, people love it. I've actually told people this week, you want to see how rings made? Go watch Alan's video. It's lights out. It shows you exactly how we do this.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting. I mean, I've spent some time working in race shops and being around race engines and doing the thing 18, 20 years ago, give or take. And I was surprised how much technology has changed since then, because the stuff that you're doing now, we wouldn't have recognized 20 years ago. I mean, literally, if we'd have got the bike, this is the wrong stuff, send it back. They don't know what they're doing. But the stuff that you guys are doing now is magic.
Well, just last week, I was down in San Antonio, Texas at Southwest Research, which is the largest independent research lab on the planet. And we're doing this, they got a really cool test rig set up for a diesel engine, actually, where you can take a cylinder and they can section it into a little piece.
Okay.
Take a ring and section it into a little piece. And they can rub that ring against that cylinder and they can simulate the same speed, the same load, the same heat that's actually in a running engine. But then because of that, we can actually measure the profilometer. They got like 3D microscopes. They got scanning electron microscopes. We can tell you the chemical makeup of it. It's like super science cool, right? I totally nerd out on it. But going from a, call it, conventional finish with an uncoated ring and just regular old oil, we had a high of 120 parts per million wear to a low of 20. Just changing surface finish, coating on the ring, and the oil. My tribology in me, I just can't help it, right? But it's like, whoa, it shows you, it's like that 70 horsepower swing.
Yeah.
I mean, we can change the wear from 120 parts per million down to 20 just by applying some science. That stuff's cool, right? I mean, whether it's for your race car or for your industrial stuff or whatever, we have that ability to help you be more efficient, not just in power, but also in durability.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously you're making it live longer. You're making the oil last longer. You're cutting down on the maintenance. You're cutting down on the downtime. I was fascinated. I was talking to some friends of mine in the NASCAR world, and they talked about how much longer, it used to be at the end of a 500-mile race,
Engine's done. Yep.
And
down on power.
Because the rings are so much smaller, because the finishes are so much better, because the friction is so much less, they're simply not worn out.
Nope.
I mean, it's, instead of having the sandpaper going up and down the whole time, it's just so much smoother that you get done with the 500-mile race, you pull the heads off and go, okay, put them back on, let's go again.
Yeah, I was talking to a guy at dinner last night. He literally said, we're at 1,600 race miles in the short blocks, and the only reason we refresh them up is because we can. And everything else is kind of worn out, but the short block really isn't. But we're going to go in there and change bearings at that point, so we might as well go ahead and touch on it and put rings in it because we can.
Yeah.
Not because we need to, it's just because we're already in there. So that's crazy. The rings are outliving the bearings at this point.
Yeah, it is pretty incredible. I mean, from a performance standpoint, obviously, if you're looking for a few more horsepower, that's great. But if you just want the stuff to last longer, and again, less maintenance, less oil changes, less everything, there is no downside that I've heard of yet. Nobody has said, well, there's one bad thing about it, because it's all positive.
Oh, yeah, it's good stuff.
Let's take a second to talk a little NHRA drag racing.
Yeah.
Coming off what I have, I keep saying it over and over again, waiting for someone to challenge me, but it's really impossible to do that. In that, best year ever, right? Because it's so personal. But we did have a great season of racing.
We did have a great season of racing. Yeah, you look at, not just who the champions ended up being, but the competition level across the board was pretty amazing. And then a lot of big news coming out of here that, next year there's going to be some big changes also.
Yes, like Alex Laughlin, Jim Dunn Racing.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's, Jim Campbell was there for 6 years, lived the dream for a while. Alex is coming online, very popular, young, fresh face, got a big following. I think that's going to be interesting.
I think it is, yeah. And he has shown that anything he drives, he's been competitive in. I mean, the small tire stuff, the no prep stuff, that he's done very well. So I don't think it's going to take him 5 minutes to adapt to a funny car. The other side of that, though, that I haven't heard anybody talk about is that opens up a pretty good top fuel seat. And I'm really waiting to see somebody is going to come up and jump into that thing. Maybe not on a full-time basis, but it might be an opportunity for somebody who's racing in alcohol now, or somebody that's looking to get up and get their feet wet in top fuel. So I think there's going to be another new face out there. We just haven't heard the name yet.
And of course, we were talking about the pro stockers in the booth here. Erica, 10 wins. Hartford got a win, a couple of finals. Greg Anderson wins his 101st race. Just really felt like there's a lot of energy around the naturally aspirated.
I think that Greg Anderson right now is in the position that Erica was in last year. Finished second and is mad about it. And as opposed to Erica last year, who had a pretty competitive car and felt like she could have won the championship had one got away. I mean, love you, Greg, but he did not have as good a car. And the fact that he won Pomona, the points and a half helped him move up to second place, but he's mad. And I don't believe that he's going to have to take a lot of time off this winter.
No, absolutely not. He's on a mission, which is great.
It's great for everybody. And, there's going to be some new faces in Pro Stock as well. I just met a gentleman earlier today that is going to be a fresh new face in Pro Stock motorcycles. I think the Rookie of the Year battle might be fun as well.
Excellent. And there is a Factory X car here on the property, the first one. Jeff Turks, Blackbird. It's in the NHRA booth. Did you get a chance to go inspect it?
I did. The interesting, talking to Jeff, and I know him fairly well, and he talked about, as they were building it, a number of stuff that they were doing, with lightweight, because he said, we weren't sure we could get the thing down to the 2,600 pounds,
right,
which is what it needs to be. And it came in at 2,300. So
that's what's possible now.
He's looking for a couple of things. One, obviously, being able to move ballast around is good. Being able to balance the car, being able to do what you need to do. And the other thing that he mentioned, and I thought was very interesting, is he said that really opens up, what if you put it in match race trim? What if you go, instead of just the NHRA events, what if you go to a smaller track, you go someplace, you take 4 of these, do a booked-in show? I think that fans would pay to come see those things, and then take the weight out. I mean, do what you got to do. Run them in outlaw mode and go do. And I think that there's a real possibility that there could be a market out there for that as well.
That's cool. The season starts in Gainesville. We did it a couple of years ago. That was kind of like pandemic related. This is the real deal. Going to give the California market a couple more months to recover, give everybody a little bit of time to recover. We're starting later in the season than we ever have, but we're starting
shorter commute for you.
Yeah. But really it takes longer
for me.
Yeah. But really it takes longer because I drive to that one. So I got a 5-hour drive. But I think it's going to be a blockbuster.
You should definitely do a trackside tech talk there to kick off the season.
I think so. I think it's going to be huge because just like the Daytona 500 in NASCAR, you're promoting, massive race start of the season.
So I haven't shared this with either of you yet.
Oh, breaking news.
I have a confession to make.
Ooh.
Nitro is awesome.
Yeah.
So my buddy Antron, because I've known Antron since his pro stock motorcycle days, right?
You think that's breaking news?
Yeah. But for Lake, though, he's a NASCAR guy.
I'm a NASCAR guy. To jump the Caesar's Palace fountain, and go say, you know what? forget NASCAR. I'm full on nitro addict. I mean, getting to work with Antron this year because I've known him for a long time.
You should have lunch with Tony Stewart. I think he feels that way too right now.
That's really right.
You know
It's
what?
amazing.
That's what they meet me and have in
Rick
common.
Ware
now.
and
It's like,
several others.
dude, it is freaking amazing getting to work with those guys over at AB. I was out there for the test in Vegas and working with those guys, getting down the track and doing that. Man, that is super impressive. It is so cool.
It is, and I'm certainly not one to throw rocks at NASCAR. I have a lot of friends that make a living over there, and
Me
it's
too.
very
I'm just,
impressive.
I'm just
we all
kidding.
love it.
I kid because I care.
But I think, and I've said before, if you want to go sit someplace and watch a show, NASCAR will do a hell of a job for you. You can sit there and watch the show. But if you want to participate, you want to be involved, you want to take part in the event, that's what NHRA offers, right?
Yeah.
You come in, get inside, go down in the pits, and go see a little bit of everything, not just one style of car on the racetrack. But, I mean, anybody knows me, muscle cars, right? Are the nitro cars cool? Absolutely. Pro stock is awesome, but I want to go down and find out, what that guy's done to the '69 Camaro, or what the story is on that classic Mustang, or the new stuff. And I think Factory X, like Joe said, that's going to attract a lot of attention this year.
Yeah, amazing stuff.
Yeah, the diversity in the pit area is really quite amazing.
And you can go see it
Yes, you
yourself.
can.
Absolutely. Alan, great job. Thank you very much. We'll let you get back to mowing the lawn and checking out the show final day. Really appreciate you stopping by.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate that, and always a pleasure to spend a little time with you guys.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah, a little hidden horsepower. Alan Reinhart, voice of NHRA, here at PRI 2022.